Are you tired of the same old investment advice? Today, we're diving into why alternative investments might just be the key to boosting your portfolio beyond just the traditional stocks and bonds. Okay, so today, Rod and I are going to be breaking down three reasons that alternatives beat traditional investing. And we're going to start right from the top, Rod. We're going to start with the one that I think people care about maybe more than any of the other reasons, and that is that there are, at least according to us, higher potential returns. Why don't you talk about why we believe that alternative investments have higher potential returns on average than what we see in the traditional stock market?
Yeah, I think there are several reasons. The first one is that when we talk about return, the actual return that you're going to get back in your investing, it encompasses a lot of different things, which would include things like leverage. If you can lever up your investment, then you can create a higher return. Tax advantages. There are opportunities to participate in tax opportunities in the alternative world that you can't get in the traditional world. And when you stack all those things up, in the end, you can just, on average, again, there are a multitude of ways that you can invest. That leads to more opportunity and higher return opportunities.
Okay, so the first reason is higher returns. The second one is diversification. And when I say that, I feel like most people are going to be thinking to themselves, well, I'm already diversified. I've got like a mutual fund, and my mutual fund, maybe even I might even have multiple mutual funds. And if you understand how mutual funds work, they're kind of diversified in its own nature, right? But we're talking about a different level of diversification here. Obviously, there is a difference between owning a physical piece of real estate, as an example, and owning a paper stock. Doesn't mean that necessarily one is better than the other, but what we would suggest is that there's huge value to being diversified across more than just our stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And now we're getting into different types of asset classes. And specifically, we're moving away from only working in that space of paper assets, and we're starting to look at alternative assets which have a different kind of value, and as we stated before, Rod, have higher return potential in many examples as well. So the second reason is diversification is a huge deal. Rod, talk to us about the third reason, which is access to unique opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you move into the alternative space, you'll realize that there are a lot of different things that you can invest in. We often talk about real estate and business, right? I think those are the two biggest categories for the reasons we talked about earlier, tax opportunities, etc. But there are a lot of other ways that you can invest in the alternative space, right? You can get into debt funds, you can get into precious metals, collectibles, art, wine, hedge funds, crypto. The list goes on and on. And the point is, once you move away from Wall Street, you'll realize really quickly that there are a lot of different ways that you can invest. And which again goes back to our whole diversification thing, right? Create a different risk profile for yourself than you have if you stick only with that traditional world.
See, and we've had the unique opportunity of meeting with hundreds, maybe thousands of high income earners across the country who have shown us by their own example that there are many opportunities. I mean, I've been blown away as I think about some of the ideas and strategies that people have used to be profitable in their investing. And again, that doesn't happen if I stick exclusively in my mutual funds, right? In my 401ks. I've got to expand beyond that, and going to the alternative space is the natural and best way to do that. Okay, so let's do a quick recap, Rod. The first one we talked about was higher potential returns, and the main reasons were what?
You're able to participate in different opportunities which provide tax benefits. You can use leverage to increase your returns in ways that you just can't do in traditional.
Okay, I love it. Leverage is a huge one. We always talk about how it's like the most powerful wealth building tool that we have available to us, or at least I always say that. I genuinely believe that utilizing leverage is a game changer. And really, when you think about it, like the one of the things that's different about the alternative space is that many of the things that we invest in, and especially you think about real estate, are it's more typical that we're utilizing leverage. Because we're utilizing leverage, we're able to increase the tax benefits that we're getting because we're buying larger than we could otherwise, right? So, if for no other reason than leverage and tax benefits, it's a huge reason. Okay, the second one we talked about is diversification. And again, that's just a focus on being diversified beyond just stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. I've got to get into some of that hard asset space as well. And finally, you just talked about access to unique opportunities. And that's one of them where you can be as innovative as you can think of, and it'll give you an opportunity to grow beyond what you ever thought was possible, even if it's in your own business, right? There's just so many opportunities to grow beyond that. Those are the three reasons that we believe alternative asset investing is more powerful than traditional investing. And we would love to know what you think in the comments below.